1963, a small rural town in eastern Ohio. A young man getting ready to take his first solo hike. This is the area that he wanted to hike. The area is not unknown to him. It's an area that he and his father have hunted before. But this is his first solo hike in the woods. Now let's follow this young man along with his hike. See where he went, what he did. Okay, the hike starts on the left-hand side of the screen on the bottom. He starts from about 100 yards from his home, walks across the field, a small woods where he and other kids used as a playground, and he comes out of the woods, walks a short distance down the road to the Erie Railroad line. At the Erie Railroad line, he picks up the green line going north across the photograph. He walks all the way up to where the railroad joins a small trolley line that is decommissioned and no longer there. And he walks back to the southeast along that trolley line. He goes back alongside a swamp to the right side of the line, and he comes down to a point where he will turn off onto the red or lavender line, and he proceeds to walk all the way out along an old strip mine that is full of water, which you can see just above that line. And he walks all the way out to the edge of the woods, and they pick up the yellow line where then he meanders off through the trees, along a field, back through the trees again to a field on the right-hand side of the photo. And he walks down right through the edge of the trees all the way to another field, and then walks back west again through a hedgerow that separates two fields, and back into the woods again, and then walks back towards the strip mine to a small clearing where he has lunch. Now, in this clearing is an old, I guess you'd call it a washing machine drum. And there's also an old oven rack. And the locals had apparently used this at one time as a fire pit. So he builds a fire in the fire pit and has a can of soup using his canteen cup from his old metal World War II canteen. After having lunch and putting the fire out from a small creek that runs through the woods, he used water from the creek, kept filling his canteen and his canteen cup and dumping it on the fire until it was out and cold. Then he proceeded back towards the strip mine, where he went to the opposite side of the strip mine, which would be the north side of the strip mine. And he walks west and south, where he again joins up with the old trolley line and walks southeast until he hits an old road called High Street and then walks back west until he makes it to his home. Only a 3.5-mile hike, but he thought it was a big deal and he was hooked. And he did a lot of hiking over the next 60 years. And if you haven't figured out by now, this young man is me. And that was my first hike ever solo. Now, I've been out in the woods a lot with my friends, but that was the first time alone. And it stuck. It stuck hard. For the next 60 years, I did a lot of hiking in Ohio, and then moved to Wyoming and did the rest of it here. So, what did he take on that little hike? Well, he had an old backpack, kind of like this one, except for the fact, instead of a zipper, it had a flap over the top. And he had his trusty canteen and canteen cup. Now, this isn't the same one, because that one I lost a long time ago. And also in the pack, although he never used it on that first hike, took a military mess kit and a knife similar to this one. Not this one, but similar to this one. I don't have it anymore either. And an old ski pole. This is the original. This has been with me for a long time. I don't use it anymore, but it's a keepsake. And of course, a can of soup and a P38 can opener, old military can opener. So that's the story of my first solo hike at 12 years old in Ohio, 60 years ago. So until next time, my friends, see you then. Bye for now.